Happy Easter, everyone. You know what I love about Easter? Eggs. Jesus is pretty cool too, but they haven't put him in a bunch of Metroidvanias, so making a video about him on an MV-centric channel wouldn't be very interesting. So this video is gonna be about eggs. Easter eggs. Those hidden little nuggets that reward players who explore that extra mile. Easter eggs rarely provide much for the game, and they sometimes break verisimilitude just so they can make a cheeky reference. But they're always fun to find. And how could we talk about Easter eggs in Metroidvanias without talking about the genre's grandparents? Super Metroid and Symphony of the Night. In Super Metroid, we have ourselves a moment where one of the game's programmers wanted to profess his love to his girlfriend. You ever notice the weird flight pattern Dragon's babies enter the arena in? If you watch closely, you'll see that they actually spell out the name Reiko before expressing the programmer's love. This is a pretty well-hidden Easter egg. I don't think anyone would have discovered it had the programmer not confessed. Speaking of confessing, Alucard can play both the confessor and the priest in a very strange yet memorable room in Symphony of the Night. Depending on where he sits, a ghostly apparition of a woman or a priest will appear. Sometimes they do their expected roles, with the woman confessing her sins before crying and disappearing, and the priest listening and absolving their sins. But sometimes they decide to just straight up stab Alucard through the confessional. I don't know why these ghosts do what they do. It's random, and you can only interact with them once per playthrough. It's strange, and it's pointless, but sometimes the priest drops a wine, so there's that. With the OG Metroidvanias covered, let's fast forward to the modern era, because you can't talk about Easter eggs in an MV without talking about Cookie Cutter. Cherry's adventure is rife with references to music, manga, and movies. But my favorite Easter egg is when Cherry uncovers our little pointy boy from Blasphemous. And this isn't the only time Penitentes crashed another game. There's a really neat statue of him hidden away in 9 Years of Shadows. But the reference wouldn't go unreciprocated. There's a hidden room in Blasphemous 2 full of paintings that pay homage to other games, 9 Years of Shadows included, as well as other MVs like Laika Aged Through Blood, The Night Witch, and Aeterna Noctis. Bronte is another MV with a penchant for paintings, as you'll find all kinds of parodies of famous works of art throughout its world. I'm partial to this masterpiece myself, but Bronte isn't the first MV to bring memes into their world. That designation goes to the meme lord that is Guacamele. Cookie Cutter may be the reigning queen of MV Easter eggs, but Guacamele paved the way by literally almost having a reference or a meme in every area in the game. The game is so meme and reference heavy that there was an outcry from a subset of whiny gamers who flooded the studio with negative comments about how much they hated all the memes because it made the studio look lazy. So, how did Drinkbox Studios take this criticism? They made a sequel and created a room full of NPCs who had real quotes from actual haters. It's pretty good stuff. Let's wrap this video up with another legend in the genre, Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight's considered by many to be the greatest Metroidvania of all time, but even with such accolades, the game knows when to pay respects to its inspirations. So you can't help but notice how similar this Shade Beast's pose is to Metroid's Chozo statues. It's a pretty common homage, given that 2 other games in this video do something similar, but a nice touch nonetheless. And because Hollow Knight inspired so many people, it comes as no surprise that the little ghost himself would appear in other games he's inspired, such as this fun little reference in Haiku the Robot. And this one. That aged pretty well. Well, hopefully we'll be getting Silksong soon. I'd hate for us all to look how Outer Minds looked in Turbo Kid's Easter egg. Just waiting until we all wither away into skeletons. RIP Outer Minds, you were a great dev studio. And there you have it, some of my favorite Easter eggs in Metroidvanias. What are your favorites? Sound off in the comments. And make sure you like and subscribe for more MV content in the future. Happy Easter, nerds!